This meeting is being recorded.
Nope, just to mine. Okay. No record to the cloud. It's fine. Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday night team call. I'm just going to do a disclaimer because I just feel like I need to again. The lighting is awful just because I'm not in my office. I am orange. It is not your screen. I am a different color. I just had a spray tan. I just figured that with going to Hawaii on Thursday, as I am, I probably shouldn't try to signal helicopters to land on our beach because I have not been outside enough and my legs are so white that I believe that somebody would think that there was someone in trouble on the beach, just like, you know, they're trying to like motion for people with the bright white pieces of that's what we've got tonight, people, is just I need to go shower this off after we're done, but it's great. Anyway, happy birthday. Oh, Diana says, I'll take your place. No. I would go white or not, but this was a good investment. This was a very good investment. And I'm not going to tell you what the spray tan girl told me because this is being recorded. If you want to stick around and hear what she told me afterwards, I will gladly tell you, because let me tell you, it was a 24-year-old girl who was spray tanning me in my absolute God-given birthday suit. And I will take any compliment that comes from somebody who is that close to me. Anyway, so it is Janelle's birthday today, not this Janelle. That Janelle. That Janelle. There we go. Wherever she is. She is also on her second day of reset, you guys. So she did this over her. Can we just take a minute? If you think of her, could you pray for her this week? Because this is her second day of reset and her son is getting married on the weekend and they're going to have to drive up to Dawson Creek in Manitoba. And she's doing all of these things. So, and pray for her husband. Amy, you are like, there's no sound. Your voice is doing this. And you have, it's not even mute, like you're not muted, but there's no sound.
I know, but I thought I was muted and I don't actually yell to myself in my own room when I'm muted. But like, I do talk a lot just because people can read lips. So yay, Janelle, you're brilliant. That's an incredible, you're gonna have an awesome week and it's gonna be the best thing ever. And you're gonna be like, Janelle, you were going to Hawaii, you missed the boat, girl. You should have been doing this 3-day reset.
Wait, but look at what she did, y'all. Do you notice what she did? What is that? That's her smart snack with 3 candles on it. How freaking cute is that, Sherry? Look at that. That was her birthday cake, the matcha bar. That's amazing. I happened to be in a meeting with her husband yesterday and I'm like, here's the thing. If she gets a little angry this week, just let it go. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's fine. How have you been feeling? Can you tell us? By the way, Janelle's one of our brand new silver ambassadors. So way to go. If we haven't recognized you already, congratulations. How's it going so far?
I feel great. I have so much energy and I don't feel hungry. I miss the snacking, like the chewing on things, but honestly, I think what's helped me the best was seeing all of your guys' stories to it so that I kind of knew what I was getting into.
Yeah.
So, but I feel great. And I love the Restore. I love it.
Another one for Team Restore. I feel like we need a post for this. I feel like we need a post. Sherry, you should make a post in either the Leader Lounge or Grow. And we want to know whether you are Team Yay Restore or Team Meh Restore. We're not even going to say nay because that's not even a thing. But we believe that people who are a meh for Restore will come around. I truly believe that they will come around. Okay, sorry, I need to do this. I need to mute all, and then if you guys want to talk, just unmute, because now everybody who's coming in, she will have her husband doing it with her. This was just a special round of the reset that she wasn't really intending on doing, so she's doing it now, and then I think that they're going to do it after the wedding. So I'm very excited for both of them. Yeah, except he might try to kill me. I'm not sure. Like my husband was like, honest to goodness, you guys, they all know Nolan, by the way, Janelle. I think that they've all met and love him. And he made it to the Smart Snack. And he's like, and this man can do anything. Like I have watched him chug down shakes that are like, not in your life. And he's like, I can't do this. He's like, I cannot feel like this for 3 days. And I'm like, you're not going to, it's going to get better. And he's like, I can't do it. I'm like, I'm not going to make you. You get to decide. This is not my willpower. This is you. So if he ever decides to come around again, but again, guys, emotional detox is a thing. Can I ask, has anyone else experienced emotional detox with Reset? Because I think that this is really important to talk about and normalize, because we need to understand what is happening in our bodies. Has anybody experienced anger or anxiety? Like this was, you remember my story of like, we are going to die. That was emotional detox. So Cam did. Can you tell us? Will he be okay if you tell us?
I don't know if he'll be okay or not, but that's all right.
We love you, Cam.
Yeah, he got really angry when we tried to mix the broth, and it was really, really lumpy. And so it didn't go well that day. But once I figured out that if I put it on the stove and warmed it up slowly and used a whisk to mix it, then he actually didn't mind it. I think it was just the lumps.
Diana, that has been a brilliant piece of knowledge, like doing it on the stove and whisking it that way, because I started doing it that way and I much prefer the broth, much prefer it done on the stove that way. Not that I didn't like it. Like I'm actually really surprised because I'm kind of a pain in the butt. Amy and Sherry know that I'm kind of picky. And I actually really liked it. So wonder of wonders, here we are. I'm not one of those people that can muscle things down. I have a hard time, regardless of how much I work on mindset. Y'all know how much I'm working on mindset about having fish in Hawaii. You can pray for that too, because I think someone's going to tie me down and shove it down my throat. So anyone else experience emotional detox on Reset? Do we know why it happens? Chelsea knows why, or Chelsea experienced emotional detox. I want to hear from you.
I know why it happens. and I've experienced it when fasting in general before. And I feel like it's actually like a flesh response. It's like, it's funny because sometimes, especially when you're fasting for spiritual reasons, it's especially irritating when you're like, wow, why am I so irritated while doing something that is actually supposed to be really spiritual? And like, and how come I feel like I want to hurt everything and everything is terrible? And, you know, like, it just feels like so ironic. I'm fasting, okay? Like, it's
I'm fine. Let me pray for you.
Right, exactly. But I think really it's a denying of the flesh. And there's something that a lot of us lean on to. A lot of people use food as comfort, and it raises your dopamine levels. Okay. So like it's a hormonal thing that happens when you eat food, and when you enjoy eating food, it's like a dopamine hit, right? So if you kind of take that away, then your body is like, where's our dopamine hit? Okay. Because in a sense, we're addicted to food. And I mean, like, it kind of makes sense because it's like necessary for survival. But you will survive 3 days without your regular meals. But your body is like, excuse me, what happened? Like,
excuse me, we're gonna die now. Just so you know, today is the end. Yeah. Like that was my internal dialogue. It's like, right. It's over. Could we just, call a group to just gather around you. I think it's done.
Right. And so when we use food as like a comfort or as like a feel good thing, and then we don't have it, then we're like, okay, where is this feel good feeling gonna come from? And then we just don't get it, and then we're just mad.
Something that actually, that's super interesting, because something that I've been doing a little bit more research into, because I don't know if you heard, but I think I have ADHD. Not sure. Joking. I think I've been diagnosed by everybody on this screen. Anyway, at least Dr. Sherry. But people who have attention deficit issues, the chemical that's missing, oddly enough, in the brain is a steady stream of dopamine, or is a more congruent amount of dopamine in the brain. And so that's why we look for that gratification quite often. And so when doing this fast, I found it really difficult, because if I took, like, I don't use food as comfort often, but I find that there are things that I enjoy eating, and I like to eat those because they're fun. And oddly enough, I only like to do things that are fun. So I was talking to Sherry, and I'm like, an apple makes me happy in the afternoon because it's crunchy and it's juicy and it's fun to eat. And she's like, could you chew gum instead? And I'm like, I don't know if I could chew gum instead. It's this crazy piece. But as we learn more and as we go along this journey, we will be able to share our knowledge and all of those things. So who had people on the messenger chat tonight? How many people? A couple of people. Awesome. I thought it went really well. We had quite a few people on there. And of course, somebody has to start a video chat, because it's just how it works. It just is. And then other people think that they have to join in, and you're like, and there's no way, just so you know, there is no way for the host to stop it. It just has to happen. So we just laugh and we go on, and you just pray that nobody has snuck in and started a really bad video. So because we don't do that. So anyway, if you had people that were there, if you could let them know if they have questions, you can pop them into a support chat with their upline. And I'm offering free shipping on the first 3 orders that come in the next 24 hours. So you'll have to talk to me about that, and we will get that figured out. Yeah, it's just a thing. It's like Emily Gibson said, it's just gonna happen. You just kind of have to sort of plan for it. So huge congratulations to those who have sponsored already this month. I know for sure that Trisha has. So Trisha's just coming on here. Congratulations. She's already getting down to her watch. So excited about that for you. So I really want to talk about messenger chats. I want to talk about how you guys are doing on the 60-day business reset. What you found I would love some reflection on boundaries, if y'all were with us for boundaries and our little mishaps for video and all the things on Saturday, because apparently they're still happening, and it's fine. It's fine. But I would love to hear. So messenger chats, could you put a heart in the comments if next week, if we planned like 1 or 2, like we'll maybe see if we can split it up again, 1 or 2 messenger chats, if that would be helpful for you in where you are in your business. Would that help you to share things a little bit better, knowing that you wouldn't actually have to share a lot? You'd just be like, hey, there's this chat that's happening, and I would love for you to come. And we even have verbiage for invites, so you wouldn't even have to type that up. You just have to put the name in. Okay, cool. So after this, we are going to put a poll up in the silver chat and figure out who would like to do what days. And then we might even ask some of you guys to run one of these things, because I am kind of 4 hours difference from y'all next week. Speaking of which, and because Linda's got a pineapple blanket behind her, I just want to take this moment to, of course, I would hope that this goes without saying. Please, like, I will try my very best to post annoyingly regularly next week and do tons of stories and all of those things. Please take them and share them. You have permission. You do not need to do anything with them. Take them and share them. And it can literally be, this company is so generous. I'm so excited to see my friends here. You know, Carrie Spratley had shared last week, you know, claim your spot for next week. Oh, Trisha and I run silent chats every Wednesday. Well, there you go. We might be knocking on your door. But we want you to use these things as third-party validation for the company. Now, there are some things that we have to talk about. One of those things would be less than 1% of the company earns this. Why is that? Because not a lot of people choose to run this as a regular business. Is this only for a select few? No, it is absolutely for anybody, and anyone can earn it. Something that really hit me this week is I was chatting with a top leader from another company. I won't mention the company, but it's one that you see absolutely everywhere right now. You almost can't escape it. I was chatting with another top leader, and she had been working to earn her trip for their company. And to give you an idea on how big this girl is in her company, I saw a billboard with her face on it. So she's not just pulling in like $20 a month. She's doing a lot of sales. And she missed qualifying 1 month, and now she doesn't get to go. So she didn't sell enough product that she doesn't get to go. She didn't earn the trip. And I'm broken for her because this girl works her tail off. I have so much respect for her, so much respect for how she's doing her business. She's so consistent. Like she is incredible at doing this. And I hope that she continues to the top of that company because she is doing well and she's serving people well, but she missed it. And then she started asking me about our trip. And I was like, yeah, we go every year. It's for emeralds, sapphires, and diamonds that are holding. There's there's qualifications, but it just basically means you just stay who you are and you just keep like growing your team. I don't have to sell 70,000 bags of Slim in a 3-month period of time. This is an award for the top earners. And then when we were chatting, the conversation turned to like, so is it you and your spouse that are going? Went back when we were talking about this before she had not earned it. And she's like, well, I qualified for 1 trip and now I'm working on qualifying for 2 trips this month. So they had to qualify for them and their spouse. And her spouse had never been on one of the trips because she had never earned that level. And I was like, I am so thankful. I am so thankful. And you guys need to know that anything you earn with Plexus as far as experiences at convention, leaders retreat, anything like that is you and a guest. It's you and a guest. That's the way it works. And I love the inclusion of the people that are important to us. It's like, hey, we recognize not just you for doing the work, but for your spouse or your friend or your support system, whoever you're bringing, we recognize you also, which is just so amazing. Yeah. And so I had to tell her that, and she couldn't believe that Plexus was that generous. And I was like, yep, they are. They really are. So really dig deep into watching those stories this week, not just mine, but everybody else's, and just fill yourself up with belief and all of those things, and know that each one of you belongs there with me. And I will be asking for a list of names for me to go and write in the sand. You know it has to be done. Might be in Nolan's handwriting because, we'll have to get those done. But if you want your name written in the sand, I will make sure to put a poll. I will put a poll in so that I don't miss the messages, but I will put a poll in the silver chat. And that is you drawing your line in the sand saying, I will be in Hawaii. I will have my feet in the ocean. I will be an emerald, sapphire, diamond with this company. I'm not giving up, and I'm going to change lives, because that's really what it's all about. So, Sherry, do you want to recap what we learned in boundaries this last week? Because I think we could all, or maybe ask some good thought-provoking questions. I know that my boundaries were pushed a little bit in the last 24 hours, and I think with this book, it has really made me consider what type of boundaries I'm setting, or if I'm not setting any, and how that's looking to my children. Not only how it's affecting me, but what that looks like to my kids. So do you have any thoughts? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but you're so good at that.
Yeah, right. I guess
Oh,
what
you
I
mean
would like, and I would
Oh, yeah.
really like to ask people to share if they would be so kind or if they'd be willing, but to share what in that first couple of chapters was different than you thought. I don't like to use the word surprised exactly, but what sort of were you enlightened about in that first couple chapters in terms of boundaries and how they were affecting your life? And Chelsea, I see your hand and I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Some of the things like when I was hearing, because it was kind of in a narrative form at the beginning, and it was like, this is so and so. She woke up and basically her day ran her, like,
Yeah.
and so I was like, wow, yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Okay. Great. This is awesome. I'm feeling called out. So that was first, and then also just how Ryder, could you turn that down, please? Ryder, could you turn it down, please? Thank you. And I just found it very interesting, some of the things that the way she would talk to herself
Mhm.
about the boundaries she was and I was like, I have had those thoughts.
Yeah.
I have thought, well, I just, it was all my fault, or, oh, this is just, me, and okay, I just need to be more servant hearted. Okay, I really just need, and I've seen a huge growth in myself in this past few years, but like some of it was like, wow, this is really eye-opening to how I've let people kind of like I haven't let them respect me because I haven't put up boundaries.
Yeah.
So they're not respecting me. People will actually respect me more if I respect myself and I respect my time and my priorities. But also, and I love, like, especially when it has to do with like church stuff, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, no one else can do this. Can you just like do it? I know we can count on you. Oh, I know you just
Yeah.
always. How many times have I heard that? Good grief. And it's almost like manipulation. It's like, I know that, oh, thank you for always being so willing. And basically you're like, I feel like I'm trapped now and I can't not come through every time for this person. And that's just unhealthy.
Mhm.
So that was revealed to me. But yeah, also in the helping people, you know what I mean? I don't have to, like, I still think it's really great to help people, but when it becomes like out of a reluctance, then it's actually not good. And it's not coming from a place of overflowing, it's coming out of a place of trying to people please. And that's not love. People please is not love. And that
That's
has been the
really
hardest
good.
lesson for me to learn as a recovering people pleaser, that people pleasing is not love.
Yeah.
It's letting them get away with pushing you around, which is not behavior that needs to be tolerated. Anyways, but also I'm reminded of what was written about Jesus in the Bible. And it said that he did not entrust himself to everyone because he knew what was in the heart of a man. And it was just like, even Jesus had boundaries with who he allowed to have his inside thoughts and in the special things. Like, he didn't cast his pearls before swine, you know what I mean? And I was like, wow, I'm usually a very open, like, anyone can know anything about me everywhere, and I really don't care. But and there is an aspect to that that's good, but then there's also like, okay, well then what makes anything special? There's not a lot of people that I've said, I've never told this to anyone before. I've probably told everyone. Don't you feel so special when someone says, I've never told this to anyone before, and you're the first person, you're just like, wow, I just feel so honored right now.
That's
No,
funny because I don't think I've ever used those words in my life. Either I tell you or I tell no one. Like we're
Right. Right.
That's funny. That's awesome, Chelsea. That is really, really good. Very insightful. Who else would like to offer? Amy?
My personality is that I wait. It's somebody else. And I really love being on a Zoom with Chelsea when she's in the mood to talk. Because I can count on Chelsea. Like, oh, thank goodness Chelsea's here. But I also understand the personalities who do not feel comfortable volunteering. And I've been working and improving at that. So I started listening to the book Boundaries, and I'm like, well, obviously somebody who is listening to this going, that's me, they need to listen to this book. So can we just hurry up? Because I thought I had a problem, and I don't got no problems yet. I had a problem. And it was like instantly. And I actually like shut down. Like, okay, I found I'm the problem. I'm gonna hit pause. I'll come back into it in a couple days. And it was like, okay, now let's move on and let's start the next pieces. And some of it is the definitions. I don't feel the need to put a label or a name on which kind of boundary fence problem I have. But it's definitely been that connection with everything else. Because I'm re-listening to another book that's talking about vulnerability and honesty and what we think about other people, what I think about myself. Oh, wait, that's also a boundary. Yeah, I'm in control of my thoughts. So the gates inside my head on what I'm allowed to say to myself and all of the intricacies with that. And my children are a bit older, and allowing them the autonomy to say no and to respect that. And to also, the answer is not no. I'm sorry. That's no longer an option. You must help set the table. That's it. There's no other consequences. There's no other anything else. Just do it. And they can develop their own boundary problems in 10 years, and they're their problems. I just tried my best.
Avoiding helping around the house is not an acceptable boundary, is what you're telling us for children or husbands or whoever, people that you're living with. Yes.
And listening to all those things together has definitely helped me think through some of that and talk through with them a bit more. But I'm like that elastic band. I can stretch this, I can stretch here, but now we've hit the edge. We're done. Rules came up.
I think as I listen to Boundaries again, it keeps adding new things, because the one that initially really got me thinking was that boundaries not only keep things out. I mean, we ranch, we know about boundaries and fences and all the things, right? But they not only keep things out, but they keep things in. And the part that I am still working through is the boundaries that keep things in that should be let out. Like a boundary of the secret you keep about yourself that harms you, that releasing it would help you heal. or the words you say to yourself repetitively, like soundtracks, that the boundary of not changing those words is putting you in a place where you're not growing and not reaching your goals. So I'm really finding that my definition of boundaries is undergoing a lot of stretching and shifting, and it's, yeah, it's not there. I'm loving conversations with people about what they are seeing or hearing or becoming aware of as we talk about them. Did anyone else willing to comment?
I'm really interested in the other books as well. Like, seeing as how I would say just starting to raise teenagers. I mean, I've got one that's about in the middle, but I got more to come. I kind of wonder what that book is going to address that's just slightly different than just the plain overview boundaries. And not just like me setting a boundary for my teens or for myself with my teens, but helping them be educated on how to set boundaries in their lives so that they can start having healthy relationships earlier. Before, when this whole boundaries idea came around, just because of when Plexus did the book club, it was around that time that one of my kids had a friend who was kind of pushing the envelope a little bit with them. And so we had a good conversation, and it was really cool to be able to say, okay, you need to set a boundary for yourself, so that you don't become negatively affected by this relationship. And so my kid did this, my child, wonderful child did this, and just said, if you're going to continue A, B, and C, then I'm just not going to have you on my messenger anymore. And that was the end. So they kept doing A, B, and C, and it was just like bloop, done. And it was dealt with, right? And this person got really angry, and I said, Lucas, that's okay, because your friend doesn't understand boundaries. And it's so important for our teens. Like, it's so important. And I'm not saying, like, it's possible that he didn't do it quite right, and it's okay, because we got to figure out how to do that too, right? I'm still learning that. I was just sharing with Sherry before that I had some things that were coming up this week that I'm like, should I be setting a boundary here? Is this not okay with me? Is this like, yeah. And it really does resonate with me how other people are watching us, and how when we fail to set healthy boundaries in our lives, it speaks volumes, like Chelsea was saying. Allowing people to walk all over you. That's not like, trying to serve people in love. Being a people pleaser is different than serving people in love with boundaries. Brilliant. All right.
So I'm looking forward for us to be doing chapters 3, 4, and 5 on Saturday. And Janelle is not going to be able to be with us. So I am really counting on the faces I see on this screen to comment, share, contribute as we go along.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see this from everyone. And even if you guys don't read the chapter, you can still probably glean something from what is being said. So 9 a.m. Mountain Time, just so you know, it's 5 a.m. Hawaii time. Maybe I'll still be on Saskatchewan time by then. I don't know.
And we'll use Janelle's Zoom number, so it'll be same number.
Same number, same time, same channel.
Yeah.
Encouragement for you guys to continue on with the business reset. Again, allowance that if you have fallen off the wagon, if you never caught the wagon, if you feel like your wagon is missing a wheel, please get on the wagon, do the business reset, start doing those sheets, because the sooner you do it, the sooner you will see the results from it. We know that our businesses are 60 to 90 days out, which it doesn't mean that if you start today, you won't see anything happen for 60 to 90 days, but you need to start a consistent process or practice of doing things like this. And when we have events to invite people to, like when we start doing these messenger events, I think we might have to start doing something like this. We did this one tonight. I'm like, man, I've forgotten how much I love these. They're just fun, and thank goodness for good reception, because after I'd said to Sherry, no, it's okay, I'll take it tonight, I'm like, oh, what if I hit a dead spot like between minute like 14 and 16 or something? Like all of a sudden Janelle doesn't exist anymore and we don't know where we're going. But I love seeing you guys partner together too. And I also love our One Flex of Spirit, where it's like, hey, anybody can join. I just absolutely love that. So if you want to do your own messenger event, you want to grab a couple of friends and you want to spearhead it, we can give you the templates. I will tell you, I did not make that up, y'all. I did not. Do not for a second think that I did something really, really difficult tonight. I went to boards. I found a template. I did a little bit of fixing. Sorry, Sherry. I did a little bit too much fixing without, like, I pressed the edit button and forgot that I was editing everybody's, but I think it's fine. Anyway, and then I grabbed some testimonies from Grow in Health and Happiness, and it just happened to be Amy's and Sherry's, and then Kimberly, the nurse practitioner, I think it's Critchfield, because I was looking for triplex and Sherry popped up, and then I was looking for a regular one and I can't remember what I searched, and I saw Amy. I'm like, I know them, so I put you in. And you can use your own stories. You can use anything like that. And so these are not difficult events to run. You literally copy and paste and stick them in at a certain time, and they're done in 15 minutes. Like done, done, done. So now you guys will have people that are asking you questions. You can post about them. You can put some feelers out there, all of those things. Does anyone have any questions about anything that is stopping them in the business reset, in the IPA sheets, anything that you guys have that might be burning questions in your mind that we can help you with right now so that you can go forward tonight? If anyone ordered Reset last month when they had the free hydrate, I just received my bag of hydrate in the mail separately. So if you are waiting for yours, you did too, Doris, that's awesome. Know that it's coming. If it hasn't come in a couple, like in a week or so, you're welcome to message customer service. Yeah, just so you know. But if nobody has questions, I will be quiet for 5 seconds here and see if anybody has questions. But otherwise, I would love to give you some of your time back. I think we're looking at changing up our structure of our calls. We want to make sure that we're respecting your time and giving you something of value, and then giving you time to actually take that value and utilize it. If anyone has any questions. Diana, we're so glad to see that Cam is doing well. Not enough vital biome in the world for that 6-hour wait, right? Hi, Cam. Oh,
Hi, Cam.
we prayed for you and we cringed for you sitting there waiting. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Next week, Amy, yes.
I'm just going to reiterate what Carrie had said and what Janelle has said. And when you see happy birthdays, Janelle, and when you see somebody who is on a trip, and this part blew my mind, was somebody else on a trip, and you think, oh, they're on a trip, they're busy, go in, like, thank you for sharing your pictures in a private message. Thank you for sharing your pictures. I really appreciate it. Yes. When are you coming back? It will blow your mind how many people respond to you instantly, because nobody else is messaging because they're on a holiday.
I love that.
All those little pieces of, oh, I'm so glad you saw them. Also, they sometimes won't check and message you back for a week, and then you get to have a great conversation. Comment on their post, make sure that piece too. But it's easier to go into Messenger and say the same thing again than you think.
Mm-hmm. I love that, Amy. That actually reminded me of something. I have another RCMP spouse who has been following me, and I've been following her for quite some time. She was showing pictures of, she lives out in New Brunswick area, so she was showing beautiful pictures of their scenery and whatever. And I just happened to message her and say, oh my gosh, that's so gorgeous. Where exactly is that? So we started talking, and I said, I would love to bring my kids there one day. She's like, oh, you should. And if you do, you need to call me. And like we don't know each other other than following each other on Instagram, right? She messaged me and she's like, so where exactly are you going? Like, we're going to Kona. Oh, that's so exciting. And we're talking about my trip to Kona. And she engaged with me. So if you are ever somewhere because of Plexus, do not think that spamming your audience is falling on deaf ears. I haven't even started spamming anybody yet, you guys. And I'm super thankful because I'm like, this is somebody that I would love to work with. And she's going to be watching, right? And I probably will send her a couple extra little pictures because I know she's like, we used up all of my husband's holidays for the next like 2 years working on our house. So we're really hoping to go somewhere, in like 2 years. So share all the things, right? The people who are going to think that you're spamming things and are annoyed by you are not the people. Can I just say this for everyone? They're not the people who you want to join your business. Right? Like, not your people. Yes. Send a message. Yeah.
Sorry, I just saw another friend's post, and what she did was she was going back in her memories and looking at people who had commented on her posts last year, the year before, and selecting a few of those and private messaging them like, hey, it's been a while. How are you doing?
Oh, I love that.
And she said, it surprised me how many people had unfriended me, but you know what? They're not my people, and that's
Mhm.
okay.
It's so true. I also like to look back to see who saw my stories last year versus who's seeing my stories this year, just out of curiosity. It's just interesting to me. Anyway, love those nuggets, Amy. Amy can bring her little nuggets here anytime she wants. I love you. Okay, I'm stopping the recording. Have a great night, you guys. We will probably, Sherry's going to do the Q&A tomorrow morning in the Business Reset group, so you can join her. You can come bring your wisdom and answer some questions too. But I think Rosanna's flying tomorrow. Carrie's not there. I'm going to a funeral. Whatever. Just is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Have a great night, guys. Thanks for being here. Love you all. Have a great day.